Hey there guys. Alright, here we are for part 2, being a Dungeon Master. Getting into advanced dungeon mastering and everything. Okay, running an ongoing campaign. Now, where this is concerned, the game has a chance to grow and evolve. You've got players right where you want them. Everybody knows how you run your games. As everything goes on, they learn to understand you. And there are a few game formats. The characters don't continue. It's called the standalone session. There's sorry, I just blanked. There's where the adventure doesn't continue, and this is the dungeon of the week, basically, where you use the same characters, but the actual campaign itself doesn't continue. It's just kind of a little stop point where your characters. Anyways, where the game doesn't continue. This is a one-shot campaign where the characters and the campaign both don't continue. And where the game does continue, but all of the above are yes. Where the characters continue, the adventure continues, and the game continues. This is considered a continuing campaign. And what I suggest doing is keeping records. I suggest using a binder. That's what I use for my campaigns. Just make sure you have all your files and everything organized, your NPCs, your player histories, all of that. Build a basic campaign. This is how you do it. You link adventures together with plot points or other devices. Basically, you have essentially a dungeon of the week, but little things inside each of those campaigns tie them together to a final standpoint. What you can do is you can take cues from TV series. You can pay attention to them, get ideas. You can also just movies, books, whatever. You can take ideas from that, and those would really help with creating a campaign. You need to pace character advancement. Make sure that in 3 or 4 campaigns, they're not level 20. That's because another example from one of my campaigns. I've played with a DM known as Myth, and basically every campaign, characters jump 3 or 4 levels, which, if you actually look in the rules, characters shouldn't level more than once in a campaign. And this is one point that I really like to stick to the rules, where leveling and experience is concerned, because I don't think it's right, really, for in 3 or 4 campaigns the character's level 20. I mean, it really doesn't allow you to really get a liking for your characters or really build a bond between your characters and feel that achievement when, yeah, I finally got a new upgrade for this weapon, or yes, I got a piece of armor. You don't have that same excitement, and it really degrades the gaming experience itself. You need to create some sort of home base and notable NPCs that your characters will recognize and be able to be able to associate with. You need to know your players, and there are 5 specific player types that are out there. And I'm not going to look at the camera, I'm actually going to look at my notes for this because there's a lot and I can't just... Anyways, first you've got your role players. They like to include voice. They like to talk and role play. They have detailed histories. They choose interesting and flavorful options, not only combat ones, when they advance their characters. Then you've got your power gamers, normally what you'd see in 40k, who carefully optimize race, class, feats, and spell choices. They prefer fights. They create minimal personalities or histories for their characters. They study various source books looking for new abilities when advancing their characters. There's the hack and slasher, basically a power gamer, but more simple-minded, and they get bored with anything that isn't really a fight. They play impulsively, and they don't really follow plans. basically your Leroy Jenkins of the group. Then you've got your wargamer, who's a competitive power gamer who usually plays with high-powered magic characters. They know the rules very well, usually, and they enjoy pondering tactics of every situation, and they discern the most effective way to complete an adventure. Then you've got your thinkers. They view the entire game as a puzzle to be solved. They usually enjoy like really logical puzzles and defeating traps and other challenges that don't necessarily involve combat. And they usually take a long time to find the exact right action, like per round. Now, me myself personally, I'm a combination between role player, wargamer, and thinker. And that's usually what you'll see is a wide variety and combination of these just basic character types. But that's for you to decide, like how your players fit into that and how to really get into their mind. There's also like the impulsive adventurer, explorer, character actor, watcher, and all those sorts of things. What you need to do is you need to analyze your players, figure out what they like, and balance their play styles. You need to kind of like have everything in there that your players like. They can be really difficult to get along with sometimes, but it's your job to make sure that everyone has fun and gets along. There are broken characters, as in all gaming styles, and ones that are too good for their level, essentially, or disruptive characters that cause trouble within the adventuring party. I personally say you're allowed to kill these players off. It's okay, because they ruin the gaming experience. If there's a level 5 and they're as strong or as powerful as a level 15 because of these uber equipment and everything that they've got, it's not enjoyable for everyone else, especially you as the DM, when they're just kind of like tearing through absolutely everything in your campaign, and they finally get down to the like boss of this campaign, and they just absolutely just wreck face with him, and you're just sitting there going, what was the point of that? Because you spent all these hours developing carefully this campaign, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. So far as dealing with rule lawyers, you need to make these people your ally. Your allies. Sorry. You need to reason with these players and specify conditions for debating certain rules. I personally like rule lawyers. I'm a rule lawyer myself, and I like knowing and understanding the rules. And for me, I like debating the rules. It's fun, but it's up to you to decide how you feel about certain rule interpretations and everything. As with 40K and all other sorts of gaming styles, you need to speed up slow players. Just kind of give them a nudge. And you need to choose your game style as a DM. There are also 5 basic DMing styles for that as well. There's the action movie director, where you like to create straightforward adventures with plenty of fighting. Game gets easier to handle when you're telling players to roll initiative. You find it difficult to create unique mannerisms or voices for the NPCs, and you're most comfortable dealing with hack and slash players. There's the storyteller, where your game is easiest when you're role-playing an NPC with a specific part to play, and you like to create sophisticated adventures that include significant events and encounters that don't take place in a dungeon. You take pride in crafting memorable mannerisms and voices for the NPCs and PCs have to deal with. And you're most comfortable dealing with players who are character actors or explorers. You're a world builder. Your favorite part of the game is the creative exercise of inventing towns, kingdoms, and NPCs. You rarely use adventures, you don't create yourself. You provide the characters with extra info or options for character creation that help them ground their characters in your world. You're most comfortable dealing with players who are explorers or thinkers. Puzzle maker. You like it when players have to figure out your tricky problem, and you design encounters that can't be defeated by the use of character stats or skills. you like using props or handouts in your game, and you like Thinker's the best. And then there's the connector, where you like players talking or interacting with each other. Now, me personally, I'm a blend of all of those. I like integrating like really different parts of, except for the action movie director. That's a bit more straightforward than I like to take my games. But I like really enveloping my characters in the world and really making them feel like their characters are truly invested in this campaign. And basically there are other ones where you're more narrator based, whether you're on task or if you're player based, like depending on how fast you want your campaign to go. Are you by the book, or do you kind of play more fast and loose? Where I'm definitely by the book. I like knowing the rules, like I said. Do you rule by common sense? Do you cheat sometimes with the rules to help your players win? It really all depends on how you like to play. And you might not even be classified in some of those listings, but really it all comes down to how you and your players like to go about playing the game. So far as creating excitement at the game table, you really need to maximize your imagination. It's what the game is built on. Narrate for all 5 senses. What do they smell, hear, everything. You need to mix the mundane with the fantastic. Sure, there's going to be like a bazaar or whatever, or the sewers, but you really need to take the time to make things really interesting and really beautiful. You need to set the mood. You can use this using lighting, music. I personally like music. You can do drawings and stuff to help like show what some of the scenery looks like. Like I said, showing is not, and not telling is alright as well, using maps, miniatures, illustrations, handouts. All of these are cool and also can help with the gaming experience. And you need to pace your game appropriately. Start out small and work up to the climax. Like I said many times, you're the storyteller. You're the director of this story. You did not waste time on pointless places in the actual tale. And just really what you want to do is you want to always leave your players wanting more and more, and that'll really keep them interested in the story. Use cliffhangers and like the cutaway scenes, like going to another location, for example, and saying like, oh well, they're doing this in this hidden cavern, and like let's say they didn't find the secret room or whatever, they didn't talk to the right person, they didn't solve the puzzle, or they didn't bring the right magic. Make sure there are plenty of clues or people with clues and different ways to solve puzzles and problems, because if they can't fix a solution or fix a problem and find the solution, then they're not going to be able to finish your campaign, and that's really an issue. You need to use every available resource. Buying or downloading game material, understanding what's out there. There are adventures, player resource books, DM resource books, miniatures and accessories and everything really that you need to make your campaign. Anything that you could possibly desire to put in your campaign, it's out there, or it's in here. So you need to figure out what you need, and you can find story inspiration from anywhere as well. The real world, fantasy fiction, movies and television, or collision of ideas and talking with other gamers. It's everywhere, and so far as it being on the web, you can go to wizards.com, enworld.com, or candlekeep.com. Candlekeep is one word. And really just go out there and find what you need, because the resources are there and are widely available for you. It really all depends on you going out there and looking for it, or coming up with it yourself. So I'm going to stop it here for part 2, and I'm going to go and do part 3 real quick.